Welcome to Home Buying Made Easy. I am Michael, and this is Joshua.
Hi, that's me.
And we have Rachel right over here too.
Hi, Rachel.
And Rachel has some questions for us because we are in the middle of a series where we're learning more about the process of mortgages and everything that goes on in a mortgage and the first steps and blah, 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 all that with Home Buying Made Easy. So you're up. What's the question? What are we doing?
You're not going to give us like curveballs of like, what's your favorite superpower or something, are you?
I'm good. What's your favorite superpower?
See, I wasn't ready for that. I don't know, flying maybe? That'd be cool. No airline tickets. That'd be nice. Unless I fly really slow and like the speed of like a prop plane or something.
See, I would probably pick something like flying or super strength or something.
I'd probably do teleportation.
My wife,
sounds like
my
cool.
wife, your mom,
Not your mom.
my
your
wife,
mom.
she would pick invisibility. Like she'd want to be invisible, like just like fade into the like gone.
Yeah.
Where'd she go? Okay, back to what we're supposed to be talking about
so
here.
our topic today is going to be pre-approval versus pre-qualification. Wow. And why one makes you a serious buyer versus not making you a serious buyer. We wanted to cover this because Joshua is on the processor side, and we wanted your input on that. And yeah, that's the topic for today.
So I'll say we don't, as a team, we don't even really do pre-qualifications most of the time. Like
very rarely.
Yeah. So a pre-qualification would be more like there's a certain very big company that will let you go in, fill out some information, and just say, hey, I make this much money, and hey, my credit looks like it's going to be about 700, and hey, I have money to put down, and then they issue a pre-qualification based on you answering. And that's kind of what I consider a pre-qualification, where
just
it's not really
GPT and you can get a pre-qualification. It's not based on anything.
Wow.
Oh, that's probably true. Pre-approval, it takes it to a whole nother level where we're actually reviewing documents and stuff like that too. So Joshua, I guess what in the pre-approval process, what do you look for, and what are you trying to get out of the information that you receive so that you can issue that pre-approval?
Yeah, Rachel said this is for a serious buyer, not like a comedic buyer, right?
Yes. What makes it different?
We don't do funny borrowers around here.
No, we don't.
No, only serious borrowers. I don't know.
We've had some funny borrowers.
We do have funny borrowers, yes. When we're looking at a pre-approval, basically the things that we're looking for are your income docs, some asset docs, and making sure that you're not AI, because sometimes people try to do weird stuff on the internet, and we need to make sure you're a real person. So we need to see an ID, something like that, so that we know that you're actually real. But we need to verify income documentation so that we know what you actually qualify for. We don't want to say, sure, you can buy a $5 million property when you can buy a $500,000 property. So you're going to be looking for something that you can't actually get approved for. So so we want to review income documents so that we actually have a good understanding of where you stand on your qualification. And we want to make sure that you can actually afford, and we're not going to run into any problems during the underwriting process. We want to make things as smooth as possible for you. And our goal is to eliminate any of the problems before we get to the underwriters. The underwriters, they pick through everything with a fine tooth comb, and they really dive deep into the specifics of things. So we try to eliminate as many problems in underwriting and get ahead of it as much as we can. And then we look at asset docs, bank statements, that kind of thing, just to make sure that you have the closing costs that you're going to need, so that we're just avoiding surprises later on down the road. So we look at some asset documents to make sure, okay, you're prepared to make a $10,000 down payment, or we need to look at some programs that it's a lower down payment, maybe a down payment assistance program, something like that. So it's just us trying to help you. Our goal is not to make your life difficult. We don't just ask for extra documents just because. Excuse me. We're looking to make sure that we can make the process as smooth for you and give you the best like the best idea of what you qualify for based on the documents that we get provided.
Gotcha. So, and Rachel, you may have a couple of questions on this too, from a first-time home buyer type perspective. Or
Are you buying a home?
She is going to buy a home at some point.
Tiny home?
At some point. I don't know.
Tiny home.
I was thinking maybe a doghouse.
Doghouse?
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
I don't know if you qualify for that. Maybe a Barbie house.
Okay, yeah. G.I. Joe house?
Deal. I'm down.
Great.
Rescue
She's
Hero
phenomenal.
house.
She
Heck
really
yeah.
wants.
Rescue Hero.
She's always wanted an American Girl doll house.
American Girl?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you qualify. You're an American Girl.
But I am.
Unless you're AI. Are you AI?
I don't think I am.
I bet they probably think you're AI
Because
because
I'm not
you're
on
never
camera.
on the
Okay.
camera.
Technically is AI.
But nobody watches the video.
She
other than,
exists.
like,
Allegedly.
She's allegedly here.
it's a podcast. Most people are listening on
Okay.
without looking.
All right. So here's a question.
Make sure both eyes are on the podcast while you're driving.
No,
Bad
No.
advice.
do not do that.
This is not the Bad Advice podcast.
No.
Okay.
And we don't want to encourage people to
Okay. No accidents.
no accidents.
We don't want to
Yes.
be liable
Um,
in any way.
So, are there different documents that you need depending on what type of job they have?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, all kinds of different jobs are in existence. And yeah, there's all kinds of different documents. So basically, when you fill out an application, it usually routes you in a pretty good direction of, okay, are you self-employed? Are you a W-2 earner? Like, do you make your money hourly? Do you own a business? How many like rental properties do you have? It combs through all that stuff throughout the process, and it'll start to ask you for documents. And once we get the initial documents, we'll review them ourselves. We actually look at them. We don't. We have some manual or like automated underwriting systems that kind of help us speed up the process, but we actually do look through all the documents and make sure that everything's lining up. And we might come back to you with a couple of requests of, hey, it looks like you gave us your 2024 W-2, but we also need your 2023 because we need to make sure that everything's going in the smooth direction. You know, we're looking at your income over time. It'd be great if we could just look at, hey, you made a bunch of money today, but they actually look at averages over years and those kind of things. So sometimes we ask you for some additional documentation to make sure that we're looking at the whole picture. Again, just trying to eliminate and avoid confusion or complications down the line with the underwriters.
That's good for sure. Rachel, what do you got?
Yeah. I'm wondering, can a pre-approval fall apart, and what causes that, or what could cause that? If you've ever seen it.
A pre-approval fall apart as in like us not being able to complete a pre-approval, or we do a pre-approval and then it changes later on?
Yeah, it changes.
It changes. Yeah, I mean, if you
They lose their job
yeah, if you
or
lose
quit
your
their job.
Oh.
you change your job. Also, if you open up a new big line of credit from the time that we do the pre-approval to when you go to purchase the house, that could affect things. So you don't want to go get a new car or a new lease or something that is an additional $700 a month, because that could affect your pre-approval amount. We might have to lower that because we have to calculate what's called debt to income ratios. So we look at all your debts. We do a credit pool. Sometimes we can do a soft credit pool. A lot of times we do a hard credit pool just to go ahead and get ahead of the process. And basically what we'll do is we'll look at all of your debts, your credit cards, your installment loans, any student loans, any houses that you have, HELOCs, any of those kind of things that would show up on your credit. And we're counting all of those liabilities, and then we're looking at your income, and it gives us a ratio. And depending on the loan type that you're doing, there's different ratios that we have to fall in. And so basically your pre-approval is based on that. So if something changes, if you open a new credit card, if you get a new lease on your car, all those things increase your debts, and that limits our pre-approval amount. So yeah, we have our 10 commandments of home buying, and it lists things like don't open a new credit card, don't move big amounts of money, because those are things that we have to track. They want to make sure you're not laundering money through some sketchy system.
This is why we do the 10 commandments too, Rachel, because the 10 commandments for buying a house are, we can go over those in another episode, but specifically no new credit, making sure you're not getting things out of whack, so to speak. No we've had one person who had a lot of cash. Mattress money is what they call it. They had a lot of cash. They had been saving it, and it was easier for them to just have it in cash. We were not able to use that cash because it's called seasoned. It has to have been in their account for a period of time. And they usually want to know and source where that comes from. So we got to just make sure all the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted and that kind of stuff.
Right. Do pre-approvals expire after a certain amount of time?
We've
So to speak?
covered this in a previous podcast, but the answer is yes and no. Our answer is no, and the answer is yes. So a bank and most mortgage bankers and most loan officers at most companies will expire out a pre-approval. They do that because documents are no longer valid, and credit, like the credit report, could be no longer valid. What we do as a team is we get somebody pre-approved, and then let's say they don't find a house for 2 months, and then they go 3 months, and they call back up and say, hey, we're still looking at houses, but we really haven't found anything yet that we really like. So is my pre-approval going to expire? And then we say, sort of, yes. I mean, at some point we will need to repull credit, and at some point we will need to get updated documents. But I've seen it before, like firsthand, where a loan officer will ask every 30 days, will ask for new bank statements, new pay stubs, and get things, and then pull credit again over and over and over again while they're in the pre-approval process. And that is ridiculous. So what we do is we've just made a decision as a team that we'll take the pre-approval, and if you're going to keep shopping and looking for a house until you get serious enough to put an offer in, or you're getting ready, if you call me up and you say, hey, I know our pre-approval was like 4 months ago, I'm going to say, well, has your job changed? No. Do you still have the same amount of money you said you had in your bank account? Yes. Okay. Well, you can go be looking, but once we get into that offer and get that for a pre-approval letter, we're going to need to revisit those documents at that point. So we wait till it gets serious enough, and we're not always asking and asking and asking. That's a pain to keep. One, it's a pain for us to keep up with all those documents, but it's also a pain to just be bugging you all the time. Give us new documents.
Yeah, we don't want to be annoying. That's not our goal.
Right. For sure.
Some people are like, why do you keep asking for so many things? I'm like, it's not that we're trying to just annoy you for no reason. We're trying to keep in track with compliance and also make sure that underwriters have the documents that they need. And we're, like you said, dotting the T's.
Dotting the T's.
Dot the
and
T's, cross the I's.
Yeah. Wow. Give him some coffee or something.
Hey, it's time for round 2 of coffee. My family thinks I have a problem, so I drink a lot of coffee.
I think you do have a problem.
It's a coffee problem.
That's a personal opinion.
Yeah. So I got a question.
I have an answer.
What is
Daily double?
Okay. Daily double, if you can answer this. What is the biggest problem that you run across in bank statements? Like when you're reviewing bank statements, what's the biggest problem?
Biggest problem I deal with in mortgages is no.
Oh.
There you go. That is
just
true.
go get more business.
Go get more business. That's what he always tells me. Could you just not talk about your loans and go get more business?
We got it. Our team, we take care of it. He just needs to go hang out and go get some new business. On bank statements, biggest problem. So large deposits is a big problem. So if you if you've taken a bunch of cash and you've just recently put it in and we can't track that, or there's some big movement of money between different accounts. I understand sometimes people want to, pull money from one investment account or something like that and put it into an account that they can more easily transfer money in and out of. That's fine if that's what you have to do. Just communicate with us about that and ask what the best way for us to do that is, because maybe that's what you need to do, but you just want to run it by us so that basically the reason is, again, we're trying to eliminate issues in underwriting and minimize the documentation that we ask for. And if you make big moves of money between accounts, then we have to track all of that movement. So if you move it from one account to another and then you split that into a different account, like we have to track and get transaction histories and everything for all of those movements of money. So we don't want to do that. Another thing would be anything that is on the bank statement that doesn't show up on your credit report. We have to, if it's a liability of some sort that the underwriters might question. So if you see a repeating payment of something like a large payment that looks like it goes to a credit card or something like that, then we want to do that. And that's why we ask for those upfront as well. Again, trying to avoid surprises. And so we'll comb through those bank statements on the front end and make sure, okay, I don't see anything in here that looks like it's going to be a liability that's going to be a surprise from the underwriters later on. So we take a look at the assets during that process as well.
Gotcha. So I think this pretty much wraps up our podcast here on pre-approvals versus pre-qualifications and kind of some of the hiccups we run into. Make sure you review the 10 commandments. If you're in the mortgage process, you should be receiving an email. At least if you're in the mortgage process with us, you're going to receive an email that's the 10 commandments of things you don't do. You don't go to Rooms to Go and open up a new line of credit.
Don't do it
because you want new sofa. That's not something that you need to do right now.
Don't do it.
So that's good. That's it for Home Buying Made Easy on this episode. We will see you next time. Boop. Boop, boop, boop. Boop. Cut.